Portable TV. Come watch with me. Earlier this week, we reported that the U.S. has recruited Australia, the French, and Japan in joint military exercises. Why? As a show of strength against China. Well, today, China is firing back with some tough words. A Chinese government news outlet has put out an editorial blasting the maneuvers and saying that the U.S. would be defeated if any conflict were to break out in the South China Sea. Here's RT correspondent Alex Mihailovich with the story.
The West is flexing its muscle, and China is not impressed.
The so-called joint military exercises by these countries, frankly speaking, has no impact on China at all. They're just burning a little more oil for themselves.
In a first ever, Japan is being joined by Australia, France, and the U.S. in military exercises in the southwestern part of that country. The drills include fighter jets and amphibious operation exercises, as well as naval maneuvering. Many believe that the activity in Japan is a show of force aimed at China, as Japan works towards expanding and consolidating military alliances in an effort to deter the neighboring superpower. However, it seems that the drills may have been counterproductive in some respects, irritating China instead of working to contain it. According to an editorial in China's Global Times newspaper, the United States will be defeated if it engages in combat with China in its neighboring waters. Another article in China's Global Times said, the People's Liberation Army doesn't even need to make pointed responses to the joint drill since it's insignificant militarily. PLA should make concrete steps in its own development, like it did with recent drills and warship commissioning, said analysts. Japan has had long-time territorial concerns in areas of dispute with China. Beijing has made claims to the Japanese-administered Senkaku Islands, and through the years, there has been Chinese military activity in the area. That said, China has insisted that it is not a threat to anyone and is merely concerned with its own territorial integrity, citing the Japanese exercises as misplaced energy on behalf of the participating nations.
I hope they will spend such time, energy, and resources more in severing their own people's interests and making more contributions to the current fight against the epidemic at home, as well as international anti-epidemic cooperation.
The Japan drills are a part of an increase in military activity involving the U.S. and its allies in the region. For RT, I'm Alex Mihailovich.
Joining us now is former UK Member of Parliament George Galloway to talk about this a little bit. Boy, it just doesn't seem to stop. Every day, it seems, I wake up and there's another military exercise and another military exercise. And by the way, it goes both ways. Taiwan's doing military exercises. The U.S. is doing military exercises with Taiwan. The U.S. is doing military exercises with Australia. Now they're doing it with Japan and the Philippines. I mean, where does this end?
Well, let's take a leap of imagination. Imagine that the United States had 4 hostile countries. I know it's almost impossible to believe. Imagine America had 4 enemies. And imagine the 4 navies of those 4 enemies turned up off the coast of the United States and conducted drills, say in Cuba. With landings, amphibious landings, a critical mass of warships, firing, missiles, and so on. How would the people of the United States, how would the government of the United States react to that? And you have to walk a mile in the other fellow's shoes in international affairs. And if you try to, you'll understand how irritating this must all be to China. And what a spur it must be to China's own warship development, the commissioning that was just referred to there. If they're not fools, and I don't think they are, they'll be building so many warships right now that no one will dare to steam up the Yangtze or in the East China Sea and threaten them in any way, Rick.
You and I are old, so we know this, but a lot of our viewers don't because they were born after October of 1962. But what you just described in Cuba kind of happened already in 1962. And we came this close, George, to World War III as a result of that, when the shoe, as you say, was on the other foot.
Well, experience is the only good thing about getting old, Rick, and it means that we live through the periods in which the end of the world, if not nigh, was at least a distinct possibility. I recall going to bed as a child that night in 1962 and thinking that the world might end. And yet now we are cavalierly dispatching huge military assets into someone else's sea, the East China Sea. The clue is in the name. Now, this is all very foolish and dangerous. It would be far better, now that we're cooperating on the climate change issue, if we could turn down the dial rather than turning it up and getting back to some kind of cooperation.
George Galloway, nobody says it clearer or better. Thank you, my friend.
Shalom. Shalom, Yasharallah. I want to start off by giving all praise, honors, and glories to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Makakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of great millstone who taught us this 100% truth, according to the spirits that be Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Peace and blessing to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word to the full corner of sincerity. And peace and blessing to you hopeful believers at the church of Shalom, man. Now we got a video through the prosperity of Yahweh by Yahweh Shai, man. It's a lot. But we got a video through the prosperity of Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. As you see, you know what I'm saying? I played the clip. As you see, man, you know, America is puffing up at his enemies, man. And China seen that, and China was like, dude, you're not the same America that you was back then, man. Dude, you're like 40-year-old. I'm 20 in my prime. That's how China was, man. You know what I'm saying? Because America is being brought to its knees, man. According to prophecy, they right. Because you see, first they said, what if it had to be that America had 4 enemies? Well, based upon the scriptures, it's based upon prophecy in the scriptures and the words of Yahweh by Yahweh Shai, it says that they should hate the whore. The whore is America, Babylon the Great. And they should eat her flesh and make her bare. Being that end of the world destruction, the 200 million nuclear missile, which is going to happen in World War III. Because people don't think World War III is coming. They think, oh, it's going to rile up. Nah. World War III is coming, man, because that's the war that's going to end all wars. And the person that's going to win World War III is Yahweh Shai, because he's going to come and put all these nations under his dominion, according to the scriptures, man. But let me get this real quick. I want to get America puff at his enemies, man. This is Psalms. Actually, I don't like these because they be, let me see this one. Man. No, not that one. Let me see if this one's it. Alright, let's go to the actual scripture. Psalms 10 and 5. Let's start at verse 4. It says, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the power. Yahweh is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. So first let's start it from 3. So like Psalms chapter 10 verse 3. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desires, and blesses the covetousness whom the Lord abhorreth. So we know the wicked to be Esau Edom, man. Right? Esau Edom. And we know America is where the wicked mainly dwells at, man. You know, you have the Russians. That's what it's called. That's where the elites. You have some elites over there too, but they're mainly in America, man, because Babylon is the main target. So like, Babylon is that harlot, you know what I'm saying, that says she shall see no sorrow, you know what I'm saying? The one that puffs at his enemies, puffing it. It's even, Esau even lifted up his horn against Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. Therefore Yahweh Shai said, when he come, he said, would you say that you're a God to him that slayeth you? Because he's going to put this devil back in his place, man. And he's going to put the Israelites back in place, and all these other heathen nations back in that place, man. Because as you see China saying, "Oh, America," you know what I'm saying? You got this military might, but if it were to be a World War III, which it is going to be, they pretty much saying, when World War III come by, you're not going to be able to mess with us. We're going to outdo you in every possibility. Our warship, our gunships, you know what I'm saying? They're going to outdo them. So, and that's one thing right there, man, because scriptures say, "Why leap ye high hills?" You know what I'm saying? China think they're the next world rulers, but the next world rulers are the Israelites, starting with Yahweh Shai. As the scriptures say, let me get it real quick before we get this one. Let me get it. I think it's in Daniel 7:18, man. It says how the saints shall take the kingdom, right? So after when World War III come by, Yahweh Shai is going to come and put all the other nations under his dominion, and we're going to take the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take it and possess it. It says the saints. I'm trying to find Daniel Salaki. Yeah, Daniel 7:18, it says, "But the saints," which is referring to the Israelites, to be more specific, the elect of the Israelites, of the Most High shall take the kingdom. What kingdom? It's talking about this kingdom that is under the rulership of the devil, pursuant to Job 9:24. The earth is given to the hands of the wicked. So while it's under the rulership of the devil, we're going to take it back. We're going to take this kingdom. You know, so we're going to take this rulership. And we're going to rule through the power spirit of Yahweh by Yahweh Shai, starting with Yahweh Shai, man, starting with his elect. But it says, "But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possesses the kingdom forever, even forever and ever." So once we take the kingdom, we come into rulership. There's no, oh, Yahweh's going to set down the Israelites and set up another one. No. He's setting down Esau right now, and he's going to set up the Israelites forever. As you said, it says in 2 Ezra 6:9, man, what is it called? Esau is the end of the world. So we see the end of Esau happening before our eyes, man. We see his infrastructure, you know what I'm saying, his vibration, everything he pushes out. We see it being brought to naught. We see it being broken down, you know what I'm saying? As you see, you got Russia trying to fight America and all these things. Y'all both heathens, let alone you both Esau, because Russians are Edomites too. They both Edomites. When scripture say a kingdom divided against a kingdom, a house divided against a house cannot stand. Then the scripture say how if a man walk with them, can two men walk unless he be agreed? No, because we're going to constantly be conflict. Now they both got the same goal, you know what I'm saying, making the Israelites not in remembrance. But that conflict is showing that how they're not. Hey, you can't grow if y'all can't have too much conflict going on, man. Too much friction, strife between y'all. So it says in 2 Ezra 6:9, man, how Esau's the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning that follows. So Esau, we're seeing his rulership fall and Jacob being risen up, and the kingdom is beginning, because you know we're people for a place. So the kingdom is beginning with the elect, man. It's being built up right now spiritually with the elect, man. By Yahweh, by Shah sending his men out there, you know what I'm saying, calling more and more the elect. Because we see more, if we see more and more prophecy happening, then that's showing us that the elect is being sealed more and more. Another thing it's showing us is how the brother channels are getting striped, knocked down, you know what I'm saying, get took down, which is by the will of Yahweh by Shah. Because, you know, man's ways is through the will of the Most High, roughly paraphrasing it. But you see Elder Apostle Gabar, Elder Apostle Gabar, his channel got knocked, man. You know what I'm saying? That's famine, because what it says, Amos 8:12-11, man. I mean, Amos 8:11, he said that he shall send a famine in the land. So that's the words of Yahweh by Shah being shut off. And eventually it's going to be to where you ain't going to be able to find no prophets. And when that happens, we know the elect is still pursuing of Revelation 7, man. But let's go back, man, to Psalms 10:5, though. Where is it at? Because that was the devil do, man. The wicked, he puffeth at his enemies, man. He tried to puff at China. And China said, sit down, man. I'm next in rulership, which he's not. That's why we finna get why ye leap high hills, man. But it says the wicked is pride. We're just going to start from verse 1. It says, why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? The wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire and blesseth the covetous whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will seek after the power, and Yahweh is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. So one of the main enemies of Esau Edom is the Israelites. But you see, he's puffing at all these other nations. You don't want to mess with me. You don't want to mess. You know how you bucket somebody? Sit down. You know what I'm saying? That's what Esau doing, man. He puffing at China, man. And China just told him, dude, it's already, if you, actually, we could go look at, it's an article, man. Let me get it. It's literally an article that explains the simulation, man. It goes into a simulation of America versus Russia and China, and they lost. America lost both of those, which is so spiritual and biblical because according to the scriptures, I'm going to get that real quick. I'm going to get that, man. This is Jeremiah 5:23, man. It says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Exactly. It's going to become a desolation amongst the nation by the power and spirit of Yahweh by him sending his son, Yahweh Shai, to put it in the spirits of those other nations to shoot 200 million nuclear missiles in total to hit Babylon the Great, plus laser beam from the chariots, man. And you know that's a different type of fire, but the hammer of the earth is Esau, Edom, Babylon the Great, right? And right there, that's biblical because the article says, if I can find it, I don't know if I can find it. It was like a brother had put it up. It was last year though. It was the year of prophecy, 2020. It was the brother. You know his channel. His channel thing is GMS upon precepts. You know, but he had put it up. It was pretty much going to how in a simulation. Let me see if I can find it, man. See, they showing like recently. It was one like from last year. Let me see. Let me just do China. Man, it's recent. Well, this even, we just read it. It said the U.S. Air Force simulated a war game against China last autumn, and the results were unsettling for Washington. The results was unsettling to the dream, you know what I'm saying? This imagination that Esau Edom has, Babylon the Great, the imagination that this whore has. It wasn't what she expected it to be. You know what I'm saying? This whore Babylon, they're expecting America, they're expecting these simulations to end and them winning. But the simulations are showing that you're going to lose. And that's biblical, man, because we just read right here, being the hammer of the earth, Babylon the Great, being America, how the hammer is cut, how the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken. How is Babylon becoming a desolation amongst the nations? So that means that in World War III, Babylon lost. As the scriptures say, man, she said, I should see no sorrow. Yahweh by chance, I'm trying to show her lots of sorrow. It's gonna make this place uninhabited. It's gonna be a big desert, only inhabited by desert animals, man. No type of nobody's gonna take land here, take camp here. There ain't gonna be no Arabs come to Babylon, take camp here. No, it's gonna be a big desert, man. But it says the U.S. Air Force simulated a highly classified war game over Taiwan's last year, and the way it ended unnerved America's military establishment. The war game created a future scenario in which Chinese biological weapon attack could sweep through American bases and warships in the Indo-Pacific region. The future confrontation would continue for more than a decade, likely ending with the U.S. on the receiving end of a loss, according to a classified report published by Yahoo News. The war game carried out by the U.S. has leaked for the first time since the outbreak of the Crown Vic pandemic, which spread to the USS Theodore Roosevelt aircraft carrier and took the U.S. Navy's most important unit temporarily out of commission. So pretty much, you know, reading this article is just telling us how China mopped the floor with U.S. Because it said in the war game leaked, you know, if you go up, it has said that China's biological weapon attack could sweep. Now, if you have heard of the NBA, you know what I'm saying, they have a 4-game a final series, and if you beat them 4-0, you swept them. That means that they was easy. So that means that China's military will sweep through America, man. Showing you how America's time is up, pretty much, man. It's finna be a next ruler, and it's not gonna be China though. That's what we finna get the scripture, man. Cause China, that's the main ones that we see. That cause the main one is gonna mess up America is Russia, man. Even Russia said, not to cross that line. Talking to America, even Russia know that they, not to jump that line, man. With a bigger power, you know what I'm saying? Russia's a strong, a superpower too. Man, that's how you know the Most High Jake, man. I just love how the scriptures is worded. It says, why leap ye heap? It says, why leap ye high hills? It's a question to the heathen, man, because the heathen, they're leaping these high hills now. Oh, I'm finna be next in rulership. No. Why ye leap high hills, man? The next one finna be in rulership is Yahweh Shai. That's who's finna be the next one in rulership. It said, this is the hill which Yahweh desired to dwell in. Yea, the Lord Yahweh will dwell in it forever, man. So why ye leap ye high hills, man? China think they're finna be the next world power. They think they finna take over. No. You is finna be China. You're gonna be brought into submission. You're gonna be brought into captivity. Because you partook, scripture say that it is a righteous thing to recompense those that troubled us. China, you took part in troubling us too, man. You took part in that. You're a heathen nation, right? Every heathen nation had a hand in the bowl. Now you might not have been Esau Edom, you know what I'm saying? But you had your hand in the bowl. So you gotta get the pay back for having your hand in the bowl. You shed some Israelite blood, so you gotta get payback for that, man. Recompense for that. Let me get Revelations on, man. Was it 18? Yeah, man, right here. Revelation 18:6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works in the cup which she hath filled to her double. How much she hath glorified herself. This is talking about America, Babylon the Great. And lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. But little do you know that Yahweh is finna turn that smile upside down. Esau's gonna be frowning when Yahweh Shai's done with him, man. Cause when Yahweh Shai comes back, first thing first, man, he's gonna put it in them other nations' spirit to make this place a lake of fire, man. Let me get that. I think it's Revelation 14. Cause I know they talk about the mark of the beast. I think it's 17. Salaki, I'm trying to find it. If I can't, I'm gonna just look at it. Yep, 17. It's Revelation chapter 17. We're gonna start at verse 15. Nah, start at verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Right? So these nations that are in agreement with Esau Edom, they're going to hate him. Right? That's what we see right now. We see them hating him, man. And it says, because they're already in that mind state, like, man, if you trying to go to war, I'm ready. I'm ready to mess you up, because they already hate her, man. They already hate Babylon the Great, man. As the scripture say in Jeremiah 50, man, how Babylon's a golden cup in the Most High's hand, and he made the whole world drunken. Every nation follows Babylon the Great. She done seduced all the other nations, man. They all follow her, man. They do what she do. They imitate her, in other words. And 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate. Now pursuing to what we just read, right, about making a hammer, right? Let's go back to it. It says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Let's give it asunder mean real quick, because I don't even know what that mean like that. Let's get a deeper understanding of asunder. It said it is cut asunder. It said asunder, apart, divided into pieces. So it's been shredded. It's been shredded. In better words, become a desolation. And the 10, but we're going to go back. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, they shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For the power hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will. Which is this is Yahweh. See, that's one thing that people not understanding. The Most High, Yahweh, he's omnipotent. And he's controlling both sides of the spectrum. So he's putting it in Esau, Edom's spirit. First, he's hardening Pharaoh's heart. So, Yahweh, so he can mess him up for him being cruel. And then on top of that, he's putting it in them nations that's following Esau. He put in their heart to hate Esau and make her desolate and naked and eat her flesh with fire. Now, that's pretty much a metaphor for to shoot 200 million nuclear warheads upon this place. ICBM missiles, supersonic missiles, any type of nuclear missile that Esau done created. He created those to shoot upon Babylon the Great, man. The scriptures go into how Esau has created his own trap, man. The sword is funny. The sword is his blessing, but the sword is also going to be his destruction. That's the funny part, because Esau, he's the one that created those supersonic missiles, the nuclear missile, all those things. And that same thing is going to be used to destroy him, man. But it says, for the power hath put it in their hearts, which is your mind, to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the power shall be fulfilled. Exactly, man. So he put it in their hearts to do his will. So going into how the Most High controls everything, it says he put in their heart to agree. Pretty much, it was part of the movie for them to follow after the beast and eventually hate the beast. You know what I'm saying? So like, it was a part of the movie for them to follow after the beast, to hate the beast, because in the end result, after they hated the beast, they was going to fulfill the part of bringing the 200 million nuclear missiles upon the beast, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Yahweh Shai, he can manifest nuclear missiles out of thin sky, but the movie's not going to be like that. The movie is Yahweh Shai going to come in the midst of it and put a cherry on top. Let's get the Battle of Armageddon, man, because it describes it as being the Battle of Armageddon. I can't spell. I can't spell Salakia, man. I can't spell. Revelation 16:16. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. Now I was gonna get to, but I want to get into the Blue Letter Bible, man. BLB. Revelation 16:16. Let's get the definition of Armageddon. Called Armageddon, man. Alright, it said the hill or city of Megiddo. In Revelation 16, the scene of a struggle of a good and evil is suggested by the battle plan of Edrelion, which was famous for two great victories of Barak over the Canaanites and of the Gideons over the Midianites, and for two great disasters, the deaths of Saul and Josiah. Hence in Revelation, a piece of great slaughter, the scene of a terrible retribution upon the wicked. That's what it is, man. It said a battle of Armageddon, man. And you see, hold on, let's get the root words, man. It says the hill, mountain, hill, country, mount, right? Because it's the Hebrew. Now let's go back. Because it's Harmageddon. And let's get Mageddon. And it says Migo or Megaddon, a place of crowds, ancient city of Canaan, assigned to Manasseh and located on the southern rim of the plain of Esdraelon, 6 miles. Tell us it's Mageddon, man. So they was gathered to this place to bring destruction to them, man. Known as Mageddon in the Hebrew tongue, because this is the Hebrew tongue as it sees in Hebrew. Now let's get the regular definition in the Google, because I probably confused y'all with that one. Let me get the regular definition. Because I got some movies on it. But it says, in the New Testament, the last battle between good and evil for the day of judgment. We just read that, man. It's the last battle. So Armageddon is that battle between good and evil, which is not really going to be a battle, but pretty much it's the last battle, and that last battle being World War III. So Armageddon is World War III, because that's that last battle, right? Before the day of judgment, because that's, but when World War III is going on, then Yahushua, really after they enforce the chip, really when they enforce the chip, but we know World War III is going to be going on because Yahushua is going to come and turn the lights out. He's going to come and he's going to bring destruction upon this place, man. He's going to come with in his Father's glory, pursuant to the scriptures, on that fathership chair, on his throne. And he's going to come to bring pain and deliverance for the elect. He's going to deliver his elect, right? Then he's going to bring down that destruction, being them 200 million nuclear missiles, being that lake of fire that the Christians talk about. Oh, you get cast in the lake of fire in hell. No, the lake of fire is going to be how Babylon the Great looks. That's why, because it's going to be so much fire burning on Babylon the Great. It's going to be likened unto a lake of fire. That's what it is. Then it's going to, the scriptures say, what his name is, Yahushua said, man, that great city known as America, Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon, that great city, right? It said that Sodom and Gomorrah, because Sodom and Gomorrah went out by fire too. And this place is being fully turned into Sodom and Gomorrah because the stuff Esau's pushing. But it says Sodom and Gomorrah will be more tolerable in the day of judgment than that great city, being Babylon the Great, man. So Babylon the Great, man, this war, known as Armageddon, World War III, the last war, the war to end all world wars, we just ended off with that one, man. The third woe coming quickly, man. Revelation 11 and 14, man. It says the second woe is past, World War III, and behold, the third woe coming quickly, man. The third woe is coming, man. It's biblical prophecy. It's prophecy that Esau is going to lose this war. That's why it's so funny, man. Esau tried to buck up at China, and China's, dude, we'll mop the floor with you. Then in the simulation even proved it. China swept through their defenses, man. Then there was another one that said how Russia swept through their defenses too. In other words, Yahweh tried showing this devil that you're finna lose. You're finna lose, man. And then China, he's going to use China, Russia, and all them other nations to do it. They're going to be your downfall. They're going to destroy you. But they're going to do my will. Then Yahweh Shah is going to he's going to come and have dominion over those men, those nations. They're going to look at Babylon. They're going to see Yahweh Shah. They're not going to want to mess with Yahweh Shah, man. Especially when they see the power that he has. Because Yahweh, he's the ones that give power, man. He's the ones that gives power, man. And the second most powerful being is Yahweh Shah. But Lord willing, this is edifying through the spirits of Yahweh Shah, man. And you see, man, America puffing at his enemies, man. Puffing at the enemy, not understanding that, dude, you're finna lose, man. You're finna lose. The heathen nations, the other heathen nations, they're gonna get you. And most of all, the elect is gonna take the kingdom. As it said in Daniel 7 and 18, man. They're gonna take the kingdom. But yeah, World War III is coming, man. People think World War III is not coming. They think it's been pushed back. Man, World War III is coming, man. So get right and seek Yahweh Shah and repent and turn back. You know what I'm saying? The scripture said the righteous man forsake his way and the wicked forsake his thoughts, man. And if you do that and come to remembrance of your power and seek Yahweh Shah the best to the 100%, he can have mercy upon you, man. And that's what we're looking for, mercy, because the battle of Armageddon, this whole movie is directed by Yahweh, man. So if he has it set it to where you're gonna survive in this movie, then hey, that's what we want, man. We hope to be that person that he has set up to survive in the movie, because the movie was set. It was the end was set in the beginning, man. So everybody's already had their appointed lot. We just don't know yet, man. But Lord willing, we be the elect, man. But I'm in about saying, call Halayim La, Yahweh, Bashem Abashah, Bashem Kakadash, man. Until I say Shalom, man. The battle of Armageddon is coming, man. The battle, World War III, man. But y'all say Shalom, man.